What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back on Days' Lost Legacy, Episode 3, the week of January 31st. Now, as you all know, we're going to start off, we're going to break down the news, the big news that involve the gaming industry. We do not go over all of the news that happens. We simply break down the big ones that affect that affect the most people in the gaming industry, the big news that was on everyone's minds. That's what we talk about here on Days of Lost Legacy. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a good day. Hopefully I get to get you guys involved in this show to make it a little bit longer later on down the road. But let's just get started off, and we're going to start with Microsoft buying EA. Potential fake news. Let's just say that right there is potential fake news. The sources on this aren't exactly from Microsoft themselves. It's from people that they say they're around Microsoft and all of this, that there's the potential that EA is on a list of requirements that Microsoft is thinking about to help their first party problem, because we all know that Xbox has a big first party problem right now. And what's supposed to save it? Sea of Thieves? Crackdown? This is supposed to save Microsoft? People don't even like the way Crackdown 3 is looking. So I can understand a rumor like this coming about. And I can understand why someone on the inside might think, yo, we could buy EA and have a gigantic, numerous number of first-party exclusives to us. I'm going to go on the hypotheticals here and say, what if it was to happen? How bad would it be? It would be tremendously bad. Think if Microsoft had the rights, the ownership of Madden and FIFA. Now, of course, they're not going to make that exclusive. I seriously doubt it. They wouldn't do that, just like they didn't make Minecraft exclusive after they bought Mojang. They didn't do that there. So you wouldn't have to worry about products like that. The products you would have to worry about becoming exclusive are things like under BioWare, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, even upcoming Anthem, which I think that's a little too late to be exclusive, but you catch my drift. You would have to worry about stuff like that being exclusive because EA and Microsoft get along very well. EA and BioWare get along very well. Mass Effect was exclusive to Xbox on the first one. It was exclusive to that platform. It was at first. But then, they decided to bring it on to PlayStation. There might have been an issue technically why they couldn't bring it to PlayStation with Xbox on that first game. But we got it. Us PlayStation people, we got Mass Effect. Dragon Age has always been on all the platforms. That could go there. And it's more than just BioWare. Titanfall can revert back to being an exclusive. That could revert backwards. Though I know Respawn said that they realized that was a mistake, but if Microsoft buys you, then you really have no choice. So that could revert back. Battlefield, I don't think that's something you would have to worry about ever going exclusive, even with Microsoft buying it. The upcoming game where you break out of prison, that's something that could be Microsoft exclusive. EA owns a lot of companies, okay? They have a lot of properties other than their sports, but there's no truth to this as of right now, and there's serious doubt that it's going to happen. Acquiring something like EA, that's just huge. Now I could see them. There was also the rumor that they was going to acquire PUBG. I could see that happening. It's already exclusive over there right now, so I can see something like that happening. Them buying PUBG. I can't see them buying someone like EA. I don't think that's just going to happen. And on to the next thing, because the Microsoft buying EA thing, I think that until we have official confirmation, then we don't need to do too much speculation. Even though I just did some hypotheticals there, we don't need to do too much of that. That could be very toxic and very mind-numbing. So, that's not something that needs a long, in-depth discussion on it. You talk about what could possibly happen and you move on. Second on the world of news is Monster Hunter World is hot fire. It's lit over here. Let me explain. Monster Hunter World, let's talk about some sales figures. Shipped 5 million units in 3 days. Now, shipped is different from sold, but shipped, when the reason why you ship so much is because you're expecting to sell so much. So they shipped 5 million units in 3 days. That's physical copies. We don't know what the digital sales are right now. We have no idea. But this game, I have it. I'm playing it. This game is awesome. It's deserving of all of the praise it's getting. It's deserving of if these shipped numbers turn out to be sales numbers. And that's excluding digital. But these shipped numbers are big for Monster Hunter. I mean, Monster Hunter was always on the handheld. And it was always, a Nintendo thing, really. Of course it was on PlayStation 2 or whatever, but it was always a Nintendo thing, and it was always on the Nintendo handhelds. Even when it came to the Wii U, that one wasn't that big. It wasn't even close to that. That one was lesser than the handheld versions of Monster Hunter. But Monster Hunter World, that you got on PS4 and Xbox One, absolutely huge. And Capcom, I don't understand why they didn't do this a long time ago. Of course it's going to be this big when you bring it to the biggest platforms and take it off of strictly Nintendo handhelds. That just doesn't make any sense. Monster Hunter is going to be this handheld game, and that's all we're really going to keep it on. Sure, we'll bring it to the Wii U, but no one cares about the Wii U, so no one's going to care about your game. As a matter of fact, Nintendo Switch has already outsold the Wii U in its whole lifetime. And Nintendo Switch hasn't even been out a full fucking year yet. So, let's get that out of the way. But Monster Hunter World is absolutely deserving of this. As I said, I have the game. I'm about 6.5 hours in. Actually, I think I'm 7 hours. I just hit it because it's on pause right now, so that clock is still running. So, Monster Hunter World is big things, man, and it's a great game. I'm playing solo because I have absolutely no one to play with, and I don't care to play with people. So, that's that. And it's very fun. And stop comparing it to Dark Souls. Just don't. It's not the Dark Souls of anything. It's not the Dark Souls of anything, guys. It's Monster Hunter. It's its own thing. Stop it. We don't need that crap, okay? We don't need it. Stop it right now. Jeez. But Dark Souls this, Dark Souls that. I don't know why it's even got that comparison. People say because of the difficulty of the game. Really not that difficult if you're just willing to learn. And that's another thing I want to go into about Monster Hunter World. If you're willing to learn about the game and crafting and defeating certain monsters, you really don't have to worry about what weapons are the best until you get really deep in, because you're going to want to start out, if you're a beginner, with a beginner weapon. Longsword, dual blade, sword and shield. These are the weapons you're going to want to start with. You don't want to get things like the gun blade or the switch axe until you have learnt more about the game. I'm starting off with the longsword. I'm doing pretty good with it. I was using the dual blades, but the control on the dual blades is just, there's not enough control of where I'm wanting to swing from where the monster is, okay? And with Monster Hunter World, unlike people comparing Dark Souls, there's no lock on here. You can have your camera focused on the monster, but there's no lock on. If you swing and you're facing the wrong way, you're going to face that way. It's not going to direct you towards the monster. That's a big thing. And if you're just willing to take the time and learn, and I even implore a lot of beginners, including myself, because this is the way I'm doing it, to play it with a walkthrough right next to you. Play it with a walkthrough right next to you playing. I know there's some gamers out there, they don't like that idea. They want to do everything on their own. I believe that's a very stupid sense of pride for anyone to have. So where you're going to sit there, and if you're going to cause yourself to suffer through the game because you don't know what you're doing, and you're going to level up a weapon that you don't really know how to use, and you're going to use all your crafting on that, and you're not going to get the right armor sets. I think using a walkthrough while you play a game like this is completely fine, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. If you want to use a walkthrough on any game, actually, whether it be Dark Souls, or the games like this, Monster Hunter, to a simple game like Uncharted, if you want to play next to someone else playing, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but I do think it's better in games like this because those walkthroughs teach you how to play and how to not suck and how to actually enjoy the game. Without a walkthrough, I don't think I wouldn't be enjoying this game. without them telling me and learning what weapons I should use, what armor should be crafted, and fitting your play style. That helped me enjoy this game because now I know, and I don't have to figure that crap out on my own 20 hours in. And I'm like, oh, now I get it. I should have did this. But you're stuck now. You're 20 hours in. And you don't want to start over. You don't want to start over after being 20 hours in. So you're like, oh, crap. I got to figure out how to go back and grab all these craft items to get the right weapon that I should have been using from the beginning. I should have been using. I think playing it like that will help you in the long run and help you save time. On to the next fantasy monster type game. In other news, the next Dragon Age game will be a live game. Now, Katie Hudson has made a statement on this saying that it's not going to be like the microtransaction heavies of the Destiny and Battlefront. It's not going to be like that. He said it's going to be continuous story added onto it. DLC, expansions, things like that. They're going to continuously support the game. What that makes me think of in a smaller sense is the way MMOs are done, where they constantly add the story expansions. Like World of Warcraft, expansion after expansion after expansion, and it keeps going, and the story keeps going, and the story keeps going, and the quests keep coming. Now, if they treat it like that, just without the MMO aspect of it, then I think that could work. But if they treat it how Destiny and these other loot box systems, that's going to make it fail. Everyone's already worried about Anthem. Everyone's already worried about that. We don't need that in Dragon Age. But if you want to support it with constant story content, then you go right ahead. I have no problem with that. I have no problem paying for expansions of the story. No problem. Loot boxes, depending on how they're done, yes, I got a problem. You want me to pay VC? Yes, I have a problem. But if it's done like this, which, I hope he's telling the truth, and I hope this is what he means, I will be fine with this. Because if not only is EA going to suffer another backlash, and so are you, but so will you, BioWare. And I'd hate to see that happen to you. You guys are a great studio. I've seen what you guys can do. I don't want you guys to go down that rabbit hole of being shit on by everyone. Being that studio that just gets shit on from all the gamers on the freaking internet. It's happened to you guys before with Mass Effect Andromeda, and that hurt because Mass Effect's my favorite franchise of all time, and that one hurt me, especially when I played that game and didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. That one hurt. So hopefully you go down the direction that I said and not the direction that people are thinking you're going to go down. Time for quick hits. This is where I simply say other things that have happened in the gaming industry, but I do not go in depth detail of them. I do not give my opinion on them, really. I just simply say, this has happened this past week. You should know about it. First thing is that Paragon has been shut down. Fortnite is going to be Epic's main focus. So if you want to play an Epic game, you're going to have to go over there. Battlefront 2 has missed sales expectations. Thank God, because EA needed to learn a lesson. And they have done it. We, the gamers, have done it. I'm not going to get into that. And last on quick hits is Anthem has been delayed to 2019 and will not be delayed any further, according to EA. Has to be out by March 2019 in order to hit the fiscal year. I'm pretty sure you guys are already going to know my thoughts on it. Again, this is quick hits. Not going to go into detail on it, but it's good that it's being delayed. Could be bad that they're making them stick to a certain date, though. We'll see what happens with that. All right, time for On Deaf Ears. For those that don't know, this segment right here is where I pitch an idea to the video game industry, but since no one listens to the podcast, it is going to fall on deaf ears. And this pitch is going to come from the recent success of a certain character in a certain franchise. And that's Black Panther. The movie just premiered, raving Twitter reviews, though that always happens, but I'm pretty sure Ryan Coogler is going to knock this out the park. But Black Panther's tracking to 110, 120 million on a character who's like on the D list when it comes to Marvel. But this boy, I think it's time for that Black Panther video game. Now hear me out, video game industry, especially you, Rocksteady. You better be listening. I know you guys are all up in your DC and, you know, your Justice League, and I love those Batman games. Love them to death. I love the Justice League. I love DC. But Black Panther is deserving of his own video game. Iron Man has a video game. Captain America has a video game. Incredible Hulk has multiple video games. Thor has a video game. You know what's in common with all of those characters? They're all white. Now, let's not bring race into it. Let's just talk about Black Panther. It would be very easy to have this game set in Wakanda, and you're exploring, you know, this new region we've never seen before. We're finally going to see it on the big screen here in a couple weeks. But you set it in Wakanda. As far as the story goes, that is up to you guys to make up. You come up with a brand new story. Don't follow anything from the comics. Don't follow the movie. Don't let it be a movie tie-in. You come up with your own story. And this is why I bring up Rocksteady, because that's what they did with Batman Arkham games. Their own story. And it was great. All three games. The third one suffered from some vehicle combat issues. That's nothing. Set it in Wakanda. Use that engine from Arkham Knight. And have the exploration. It needs to be about as big as Arkham Knight was, is what I would say. It'd be, that's bare minimum, as big. But since it's Wakanda, I think it could be a little bit bigger. You know, since this is a whole country we're talking about, whole secret country, I think it could be even bigger. You know, you don't got to go Witcher 3 level, and I'm not expecting that. But you can do bigger than Arkham Knight. You could go Andromeda size, maybe. You could go Andromeda size, you know, except it's not scattered planets. As far as all of that territory combined in Wakanda, I think you could go that size. I don't see why you couldn't. So, and this can't just only go to Rocksteady. It doesn't have to just be Rocksteady. I was just pointing them out because of what they did with Batman. This can go to any studio who's willing to do a single player game. Insomniac. When you get done with that Spider-Man, you want to touch Black Panther? No? Okay. Oh, wait. How about you guys, Sucker Punch? You guys did awesome with Infamous. Take Black Panther. You can do it. I know you got Ghost of Tsushima that you're working on, but maybe you guys are big enough to handle 2 games at once? I don't know. Are you? I feel like you are. I feel like you can handle it. Sucker Punch. You know, that's actually who I'd really love to get it, is Sucker Punch. A Black Panther game made by Sucker Punch. You know, because of the combat style that you would need. You know, he's quick, he's fast, and he could probably crawl. He crawls up walls and things like that. Oh, Sucker Punch could kill it. It could play out almost just like Infamous with Black Panther, except with the floating. You know, Black Panther doesn't fly. He would be leaping or jumping very far. But ooh, yeah, you could do it in Sucker Punch. God dang, I got beautiful ideas. Come on, Sucker Punch. I hope somebody listening. But that is it for today. Days of Lost Legacy, episode 3. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will, as I said, as soon as I build an audience, I will start bringing viewer questions into this. Right now, all my videos have been around 20 minutes. I'd love for these to go on for an hour. But in order to do that, I need to get people involved. So, hopefully, you guys can start getting involved. Get this viewership up. I'm trying, guys. So, until next time. Bye-bye.
Oh, I guess, ride around and flex, disrespect. Oh, I guess, ride around and flex, disrespect.